and your business. Here's some key safeguards I'm going to go over that you really should take to protect your information. The first being anti-malware software. Everyday viruses cause a huge amount of data loss and in turn cost individuals time and money and resources. The best defense against computer viruses is to, simply install an antivirus program on every single computer that you own. You just should make that a standard and just, know that no matter what, if you purchase a computer, you should purchase some antivirus software as well. There's a ton of free options, but I would say set this as a standard, make this a requirement that when you purchase a computer, you're putting this software on there. There's a lot of different antivirus vendors, and there are equally as many options on which one is the best to use. So, read some reviews, and just when actually selecting the product, make sure it includes an automatic update feature. An antivirus program can only detect a virus if it knows the virus exists, and it does this via virus definitions. Since new viruses are constantly being created, it's imperative to keep your antivirus definitions up to date. And by having a package that offers automatic update feature, you don't have to worry if your software is up to date in detecting all possible malware. You're ensuring that since it's automatically updating, it's getting all of those new viruses defined, and then we'll be able to easily detect if one of those is put onto your computer. You also, too, want to be sure that the antivirus you use utilizes real-time protection, which will quickly identify the presence of a virus that has been defined. It's also important to pick an antivirus program that automatically scans email attachments for viruses. Since many viruses are transmitted via email, this feature is really, really, really valuable. And if you're going to take invest your money in an antivirus program, having these three features is really key and will ensure that you're keeping your computer safe. The next safeguard, which I touched on a little bit before, is a firewall. Firewalls create checkpoints between an internal private network and the public internet. All traffic inside and out must pass through the firewall, and only authorized traffic as designed by the local security policy, which you define, will be allowed to pass in. The firewall itself is actually immune to penetration, and it's secure because it's not a general purpose host. But as I said before, this only protects the information in network. Once it's being transmitted out of the network and over the internet, it does need to be protected, which is the next safeguard is encryption, which I touched on again before. Sometimes they call this network layer or network level encryption. But what it is a network security process that applies crypto services at the network transfer layer above the data link level, but below the application level. I know that sounds confusing, but just to kind of put it in layman terms, these are the layers that are responsible for connectivity and routing between two endpoints. And like I said, it does require it puts your files in a form that require a specific key so that people can't just grab those as soon as they leave your firewall and are being transmitted on the internet. Network encryption products and services are offered by a number of companies, the most commonly known being Cisco, Motorola, and Oracle. Another very important safeguard is keep your operating system and applications current and patched. Ensure that all computer software is up to date and contains the most recent patches, i.e. your operating system, antivirus, anti-spyware, anti-adware, firewall, and office automation software. That all needs to be up to date, and making sure that it, like I said, the antivirus before needs to be updated. It needs to get those new viruses defined so it's able to detect if one is, loaded onto your computer. Make sure you limit access to your network. Establish rules and safeguards for remote workers. Don't assume that public Wi-Fi networks are secure. They really aren't. Consider using a VPN. Install and use antivirus programs, anti-spyware programs, and firewalls on all computers in your businesses. This should just be standard and something that you do, anytime that there's a new computer purchased in your business. Encrypt, you want to make sure too to encrypt your wireless network, like I said, with a WPA encryption. Encrypting the data would prevent anyone who might be able to monitor your network wireless traffic from viewing your data. So this will make sure that if you do have a telecommuting force or somebody that's working off of the airport or in a Starbucks, that at least still your information is properly encrypted and protected. It's extremely important to communicate and promote awareness of common phishing threats to your employees to decrease the chance that they fall for a scam and in turn put your business at a high risk. You want to make sure that the most common and recent phishing scams are communicated to your employees so they know how to avoid any emails in question. Set the standard, set the expectation with them that if something is questionable, play it safe and don't open it or respond to the scam with any information. Make sure you report it to your manager and then have them check it out to see if, it is something that needs to be reported or if it, is a link that should be clicked and this software or attachment should be downloaded. Make it clear to your employees that legitimate companies, too, they're not going to ask for sensitive information via email or a link. So they should never provide that information. Even if the email or the website, they've been brought to looks completely legitimate, a bank is not going to email you and ask you for your bank account information or your username and password. There's just no way. You need to make that really apparent to your employees and educate them on that they should not fall for that. And once again, if anything's in question, make sure that they bring it to their manager so their manager is able to review before any malicious software is downloaded onto the computers. It's important, too, to make your employees aware of what a spear phishing attack is and to be on the lookout for anything in their inbox that looks, pretty suspicious. The best way to avoid becoming a victim of a spear phishing attack is to let everyone know it's happening before anyone loses any personal information. So, the second one of your employees reports to you that there's a suspicious email and it looks like most of the company got it, send out a company email, make sure that is, deleted from their inbox or marked as spam just so it's out of there and that nobody is falling for this scam that's going to, really adversely affect your network if somehow it is penetrated. I can't say this one enough. I've mentioned it before, but back up your data. It's so important. I don't think I could imagine if I lost all of my data. Just, imagine if you did lose all of your contacts or other vital information that really would keep your business from moving forward. If you're going to take one step at all to protect yourself, make it this one. Back up your data regularly. This is something that no company, no matter what size, should overlook. It's something that needs to be done, and it's essential for your business's success. It's vitally important to investigate any link or attachment you receive via email before you click on it or open it. Microsoft's Internet Explorer actually has a built-in anti-phishing filter that will scan websites against a pool of known phishing sites. While this is not exactly foolproof, it is an added defense against phishing attempts. I know there are plugins as well for Chrome and Firefox that will do the same exact thing that it will scan everything to make sure that it's not any virus that they have defined in their virus bank. You want to make sure, too, to only download or install software from websites that you know and trust. Read reviews online before installing any software to make sure that, other users didn't experience any problems, and just really make sure you are doing your research and not just arbitrarily, clicking things on the internet to download, some software, because that is how you are going to get, a virus on your computer. You, too, want to make sure that you enable a pop-up blocker in all of your browsers and don't click on any of those links within the pop-ups. Pop-ups are a really easy way for spammers to try to get that information from you. So make sure that you have that pop-up blocker on and just make it a standard that no link, unless you're 1,000% certain that, it's not from a malicious website. Don't click on any links in the pop-up. This feature does have to be turned on to work, and you can do that through internet options under tools on the file menu. Also, if you just Google, how to turn on pop-up blocker in IE, Chrome, or Firefox, you'll find that really, really easily. Again, Wi-Fi security, it's super important. Make sure you change the name and password of your router from the default settings. The name of your router is likely to be standard default ID that's assigned by the manufacturer. Make sure you change this and, more importantly, your password to something that's unique only to you. You really want to make this one a really hard password to guess. I would recommend just throwing your hands on the keyboard and typing in about 16 letters and numbers, see what you get. Save that on your computer somewhere and make that your password. That's a surefire way that nobody is going to guess that password. Also, use encryption whenever possible to protect your information against common hacking problems. WEP and WPA are the most common, but WPA2 is the strongest. WPA encryption protects your information against common hacking programs, but WEP may not. Definitely go WPA or WPA2, again, is the strongest. So, is it really worth the trouble to beef up your online security? Yes, absolutely, without a doubt, 100%. It's so much cheaper and wiser to take a proactive approach and at least utilize some of the defense mechanisms we discussed today. Being proactive and really taking that proactive approach will help create a safe working environment for your team, prevent pornographic, offensive, hostile materials from being inadvertently distributed through your network, and will reduce the risk of costly network infrastructure damage. Though I've said it before, not many people are willing or even able to spend their money on the security resources. You need to at least make sure that you have a simple cyber plan in place so that you and your network are not at risk. It's much, much cheaper to invest in this now than to try to react to a hacker getting into your network and rectifying that situation then and trying to, get all your contacts and data back. And much better to make sure that you're at least taking some of these steps, and as you get your business growing and more money for your resources, definitely make this a place that you invest. Taking some of these steps will also help you promote workplace productivity to ensure your network is used for business productivity and not as recreational diversion. Putting blocks on specific websites or just making it really, really apparent that nobody is able to go on any site other than the ones approved by the work will make sure that people aren't just sitting there doing, other work or going on Facebook when they really should be 100% focused on the work that they need to get done for you. You're also going to reduce the liability of preventing your employees from using your network to conduct illegal activity. Though this doesn't happen often, it has happened, and if you're able to get your network security, in place, you can prevent this from happening. Taking this proactive approach will also help to protect, the employee and business privacy. And we've made it to the end. It looks like we are right at the time marker, so I'm actually going to end the presentation here so y'all can just get back to your days and get everything done that you need to do. For those of you who did type in questions during the presentation, I'm going to make sure that we get back to you individually and get all of those questions addressed. I really do hope that the information we discussed today was helpful and that you'll be able to implement some of these things to ensure that you're taking the right steps to protect your business and your online security. Thank you again for joining us. I hope everyone has a wonderful day.